Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to do something a little bit different. This video is going to be a clip from my live stream yesterday. The final race that we had while we were trying out the Spectate mode was a super good race. We all really enjoyed the Spectate mode. I loved commentating on the racing. And everybody in the stream seemed to really enjoy it. So I figured, why not make a video that both showcases the Spectate mode, the community racing, and hopefully my commentary isn't too bad. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So yeah, I just wanted to preface the video with this, and yeah, let's go ahead and hop in and check it out. Alright, here we go, folks. Clamp God starting on pole. Pulling over and giving that up quickly. Down into last place here. Okay. Enzo out in front in the Mercedes. Followed closely behind by Trey, Boomer, and Toge. Going up the hill through the chicane. Got the WeatherTech Mercedes out front, and the red, white, and blue, followed by the red, white, and blue Mopar Viper. A couple of Astons going side by side, right behind there. Side by side into the bus stop for Boomer and Toge. It looked like, oh, and Trey got super loose there. Trey losing a bunch of positions going through the bus stop. Well, a couple at least. 3. Lost 3 going through the bus stop there. Boomer up into second in the Aston Martin. Toge fighting back in the new Aston. Side by side drag race down the straight. Toge gets the move done going into, I think that turn is called toe. Toge up into second place. Closing in on amateur Enzo here. Amateur Enzo taking the lead and holding on to it here through lap 1. Around the penultimate corner and coming up to the final turn here. Through the final turn, onto the start finish straight we go. Amateur Enzo, Toge, and Boomer are your top 3, followed by Sam, Simon, Trey, Anthrax, Legend, and Rake. Biggie Brains rounds out the top 10. Followed by Moker, Clamp God, Alvaro, and Tannic Wolf. Toge really closing up onto the back bumper of Amateur Enzo here, challenging for the lead going up the hill through the chicane. Boomer fighting back right there on Toge's bumper. Here they come down the back straight. Toge side by side with Enzo here, just really close, door to door, into the bus stop. Enzo does manage to hold off Toge. Boomer making a move through the bus stop, side by side, going through the right-hander. Boomer with the inside line on Toge. Does get the move done and makes it stick up into second. Sam right behind, getting involved in this fight for the lead here. 4-way battle, all within a second of each other between first and fourth. Simon a little bit behind in 5th place, about 3.5 seconds back, having his own battle here with Anthrax. Drag race between the Bentley and the Viper. Down the back straight here, Anthrax diving up the inside, getting that move done. Up into 5th place. Simon fighting back. Right on the bumper of Anthrax, coming in through this last section here. Goes a little bit wide onto the grass, manages to save it. Legend up into 7th, just getting by a Trey going into the penultimate corner. Let's check on this battle for the lead. Amateur Enzo on the start finish straight, managing to hold on to the lead for the first 2 laps. Toge going up the inside into turn 1 here, try to get the move done on Boomer. Does get that move to stick. Sam followed him through. Boomer back down into fourth now from second place. Toge up into second. Sam in third on the podium. And yeah, you have this four-way battle for the lead out here. Amateur, Toge, Sam, and Boomer going into the bus stop. Amateur gets loose. Oh, and he almost loses it. Toge just managing to avoid contact there. An Amateur able to save it and hold on to P1. Toge keeping that pressure right on inches from Enzo's bumper. Going into this twisty section here at the end of the lap. Sam diving up the inside. Toge getting loose on the curb. Dropping back into third place here. Boomer lurking. Toge up the inside of Toe. Fighting to hold on to that second spot. Sam just in front. This top four battle has been epic to watch. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I certainly have been. Sam, tons of pressure on Enzo here, who has just been managing to hold on to the lead with some great defense. Toge up the inside, coming around up to the penultimate corner. Can Toge get the move done? He does. Excellent work there by Toge to get right by from third all the way up into first place, coming around the final corner onto the start-finish straight. Oh, and there's a big moment there from Enzo, who gets super loose. Anthrax in the background getting loose. Boomer holding on to P2. Enzo slipping back into P4 after a great first 3 laps of holding on to, well, almost 3 laps of holding on to the lead. Check in on Toge here. Looks like he is starting to pull a little bit of a gap to Boomer, perhaps. Sam right on Boomer's tail. It looks like they'll be in a drag race here down the back straight. Boomer slightly defensive. Sam goes around the outside. Boomer takes that inside line, which is the outside line through the next corner, but able to hold that, stay in second place for now. Sam right on his bumper, and Enzo in fourth place. Anthrax up here into fifth now in the Slowpoke Viper, closing up on Enzo here, trying to get up and get involved in this four-way battle for first place, although Toge does look like he has pulled a gap here and is starting to pull away now that he has got some clear air and is free of this battle. Anthrax able to catch up and is now firmly involved in the battle for second place between Boomer, Sam, Enzo. Legend lurking, coming up, trying to get involved also. Legend in sixth. We have Simon, Moker, Trey, and Biggie Brains, 7th through 10th. Clamp God hanging out in 11th. Rake in 12th. Alvaro in 13th, and Tannic Wolf in 14th. Coming up on the end of lap 4 of 17 here, Toge with a 6/10 penalty, Legend with 6/10, Trey with half a second, Clamp God getting the move done on Trey up into 10th place. Enzo getting by Boomer on the start-finish straight here going into turn 1. Enzo also gets the move done on Sam, moving up 2 spots there through the first corner, going up the hill through the chicane. Still a great battle here. Legends still lurking, looking to get involved, closing up on Anthrax and Boomer, who are in a drag race down the back straight here, going into the bus stop. Sam and Enzo side by side going into the bus stop. Sam does back out. Enzo holds on to P2. Toge is gone up front. 3.5 second lead now over second place. Enzo, Sam, Boomer, and Anthrax all within about a second of each other here. Enzo really fighting hard to hold on to this P2. Sam and Boomer keeping a lot of pressure on. A little bit of contact there, I believe, from Sam and Boomer, but all is well with them. Let's check on Toge and his pace. Let's see how he's doing here. A 146.0 as his fastest lap. A 146.8 for Enzo. Definitely a little off the pace there. 146.5 for Sam. So definitely going to be able to keep the pressure on Enzo here. It's Enzo, Sam, Boomer, Legend, Anthrax, and that top 6 right there. Well, that group of 5, I should say, really battling it out for a P2 here. Let's check further down the field here. See how things are coming along for Moker, who was our driver of the day in that last race at Yas Marina. Had a great showing in the Heineken M8 here. Currently in 8th place. Decent gap to Biggie, and looks like a decent gap in front of him too. So he is here in a nice little clear air spot. You can just see Simon up there in the Bentley going into the bus stop. Oh, and Sam had a big off. Sam is down into 8th place now. After a great battle, Sam loses it through the bus stop. Anthrax now up into 2nd place, and Legend has followed him through. Something may have happened there between Boomer and Sam. Causing both of them to lose positions here. Again, Anthrax having a fantastic drive. Really showcasing his skill in these races today. Moving up tons and tons of positions in each and every race, and constantly fighting for a top 5 spot. Legend diving up the inside into the penultimate corner here. Anthrax looking for the cutback. Legend trying to hold the inside line going into the final corner. He does manage to do so. Can Anthrax get the cutback on the way down the start-finish straight? Boomer right on Anthrax's tail. Anthrax keeping that pressure on Legend going into turn 1. Legend just managing to hold Anthrax off here for P2 for now. We will see if Anthrax can stay in that draft and get by Legend on the back straight here. Heading into the bus stop. Anthrax is going to go for it up the inside here. Drag race to the bus stop. Does get the move done prior to entry on the bus stop chicane. Both of them taking a little bit of an aggressive line there. Coming down the hill through the sweeping right-hander. Legend diving back up the inside. Great move there by Legend to take back P2. Great battle here between Anthrax and Legend, duking it out. Boomer just lurking front row seat to this great battle here, hoping for a mistake, hoping that they slow each other down and give him an opportunity to get back involved in this race. Toge with an absolutely commanding lead, 6.5 seconds out here in front. A 1:45.4 fastest lap. Has moved up 4 spots from 5th into 1st and a top speed of 172. Absolutely flying in that Aston Martin. Check back in here on Moker, closing in on Simon for 6th place in that Heineken BMW, and Simon actually not far off of Enzo here, who has dropped back into 5th after that mistake through the bus stop chicane. Yeah, boost. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I might do one more after this, but it definitely won't be more than that. Here we go, the top 6 all pitting. Will anybody carry on? Moker is going to carry on. Moker will take the lead of the race here. Ah, okay, so it was Enzo and Sam that got tangled up. Oof. It's alright though, I'm sure. I know it wasn't completely on accident. There's no, I mean, with the way you guys were racing that whole time, there's no way that anybody would do anything egregious. Y'all were having some amazing battles. Sam up here into 7th now, trying to make a recovery. Enzo right behind him in 8th. Moker out here in the lead, has not pit yet. We will see when he pits. He may be going for the hard-to-hard one stop in this race. Check in on Toge here. He does just see Moker as they're on the straightaway here, off in the distance. As he crests this hill, he should see Moker taking that right-hander. See how this battle is going. Anthrax in 4th now. So Legend did manage to get by Anthrax and has held on to that. Boomer putting the pressure on Anthrax now. Is Boomer going to be able to get this move done? He does get that move done up the inside there. Anthrax getting a little bit loose through that corner. Coming around the penultimate corner, it's Legend, Boomer, and Anthrax. 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. Through the final corner they go. Onto the start-finish straight. Toge is closing in on Moker. Moker still has not pit yet. My guess is this will be Moker's last lap before a pit stop, where he will then go on to hard tires again for that one-stop strategy. Doing 9 laps and then 8, of course. Anthrax down here into 5th now. Does seem to be dropping off just a tiny bit. See if he's able to pull it back and potentially fight for that podium position again. Or if Boomer is going to be able to hold him off. Let's check back in down here on Amateur Enzo. Was the leader of the race for the first several laps. Looks like he's in pretty clear air for now. Should be able to just kind of focus on taking the best lines possible and focusing on his pace. Look a little bit further down the field here. Let's check in on Clamp God. Clamp God coming through the chicane or through the bus stop and down. And heading up here into tow. Hanging out in a very comfortable P10. So Clamp God just inside the points as of right now. Looks like the closest battle we have on track is up here at the front. Legend in 3rd place. Has pulled a slight gap now to Boomer. And who has also pulled a slight gap now to Anthrax. Moker still has not pit. Lap 10 here. Choosing to carry on these worn tires. Toge has made a pit, is on the much fresher tires. It's been closing this gap rapidly up the hill through the chicane. They go onto the back straight. Will Toge get this move done here going into the bus stop chicane, or will Moker be able to hold him off for a little bit longer? Moker getting a little bit loose there. Toge does get that move done going into the bus stop chicane and reclaims 1st place. I would be shocked if Moker does not pit at the end of this lap. Surely he is going to pit at the end of this lap and put on some mediums and try to at least finish in the top 10 here. Sam back up into 6th place now. We'll check in with Sam and see. Can he see Anthrax? He can, right there, not too far in front of him. We'll see if Sam's able to close that gap. I believe if Moker pits, he will probably come out close to 8th place-ish, is my guess. Maybe 9th. Back on board here with Anthrax. We'll actually come over here on board with him. See how he's getting along. Started in 12th, now up into 5th place. Fastest lap of 1:45.9. A little bit off the pace on his last lap by about a second. See how he's doing here. And a new fastest lap for Anthrax on lap 10 there. Moker did go ahead and make his pit as anticipated. And I believe he will come out in 7th or 8th place here. So there's 8th. And is he out of the pits now? Just came out of the pits. And just ahead of Biggie Brains here, coming out in 8th place. So we were correct there on where he would come out when he pit. And here comes Biggie Brains. Can he get the move done? Going into the bus stop. Side by side they go. Moker backs out. Biggie into the bus stop. A little bit slow through the bus stop for Biggie. Is taking that defensive line, trying to hold off Moker here for that 8th place spot. Moker looking for the cutback. Biggie is on top of it, holding that defensive line. Great battle here between these two for P8. Biggie Brains just managing to hold on to that position for now. Sam has closed in on Anthrax here in P5, closing in on P4. Lap 12 to 17. Both of them coming up through the final corner here onto the start-finish straight. Sam with a much better run goes for the inside line. It's a drag race to turn 1 between these two. And Sam is getting that move done. Sam a little bit hot into turn 1 there, but will manage to make that move stick. Anthrax trying to stay in the draft behind him here. Hold on to a top 5 spot. Amateur Enzo back up in 6th place. Sam now with his sights set on Boomer for that podium spot. Toge with a commanding lead still. Out here in first by about 11.5 seconds. What a massive gap. Absolutely dominating performance here by Toge. Once again, after a dominant performance at Yas Marina in that last race. Uh-oh, Amateur Enzo just dropped several spots. Another issue through the bus stop here. Amateur Enzo having trouble with the bus stop chicane at least twice now in this race. Cost him several positions. We'll see if he's able to gather it back up and make up a few more spots on these last 5 laps here. Toge into the pits. Ooh, close call there with those with that pit entrance. Is Legend on the same strategy? He is not. Legend carries on and will take the lead of the race now. Let's go back to the replay cameras. Legend through turn 1 is the new leader of this race. Boomer 2nd, Anthrax 3rd. Sam did pit when Toge pit. Toge does come out in 4th place here. And that is Toge's last pit. I believe Legend may have to pit one more time. I'm not sure what tires Legend, Boomer, and Anthrax are on. Perhaps they will carry this on to the end. If they do not, my guess is they will pit at the end of this lap, throw on some softs, and then see how they do. What's up, Craig, Al, Joe, Jose? Welcome in, guys. Toge out here typing in the chat with that commanding lead that he was holding prior to his pit stop. I've had a few people here pit now, twice. Legend out in front. Coming up through this final sector here. Through the penultimate corner, is he going to pit? He is going into the pits. Is Boomer gonna follow suit? Or will Boomer carry on? Boomer is following suit. Anthrax, is he carrying on? Anthrax also into the pits. Oh, Anthrax not into the pits. Anthrax is now your new leader of the race. here at the start of lap 14 of 17. Toge in second. Toge definitely on the faster and fresher tires. Is Anthrax going for the one stop this race, and can he hold on to this lead? 3.5 second lead over Toge. As I said though, Toge is on the faster tires and the fresher tires. Toge does appear to be closing that gap relatively quickly. Anthrax yet again with the most positions gained in this race thus far, with a total of 11. Clamp God and Enzo both have lost 10 places each. They are the two with the most positions lost. We'll see if Clamp God will be able to work his way back up into the points here and into the top 10. Looks like he is pretty close to Trey. Let's check out this battle here. Here we go. Great battle by Clamp God and Trey. Side by side going into the bus stop. Clamp God does back out. Monster Trey holding on to that P10 spot, but Clamp God really putting the pressure on here. I believe Clamp God has pit twice and Trey has only pit once, so Clamp God should be on the better tires here. Let's see if he'll be able to get that move done on the Viper by the end of the race. I think, oh, and Trey goes wide into the wall. Clamp God takes advantage of that mistake up into 10th place. Amateur Enzo also trying to push the issue around the outside on Toe and onto this back straight here. And it's a drag race between Enzo and Trey. Enzo does get that move done. Toge still your leader out front. Did get by Anthrax. Anthrax still has not pit. Toge with a 1:43.4 fastest lap, absolutely cruising out here. Anthrax and Legend have both moved up 10 spots. Anthrax with a 1:45.7 fastest lap. Definitely not on Toge's pace, but managing a commanding second place here. Legend is quite a ways off of the top two, although Legend has pit twice and Anthrax does appear to be going for the one stop, and his lead over Legend may be big enough to hold on to that P2 by the end of this race. We'll see what kind of pace Legend has. Moker actually relatively close to Legend here. Moker, if you remember, is on a very different strategy from most people in this race. Legend holding on to that final podium spot in P3. Our penalties here in the top 4, 5th through 9th, no penalties though. Sam up into 6th place, now putting some pressure on Boomer for that top 5 spot. Just lurking in Boomer's mirror, letting him know I'm here, and if you make a mistake, I will take advantage of it. Anthrax falling off of Toge hugely here. Did he have a mistake through that final corner and onto the back straight? Lost a lot of time. Wonder if those tires are really starting to struggle now. Running a 1:46.7 on that last lap, which is quite a ways off the pace of Toge out here in front, running a 1:43.4. Does look like Moker and Anthrax are going to be doing that one-stop strategy. We'll see if that does help them. Anthrax still about 9 seconds ahead of Legend. About 1.5 laps to go here, roughly. So we will see. I think Anthrax, barring any major mistakes, may have pulled off the P2 here with the one stop. Legend, I believe, did make a 2-stop, and so to snag a podium after the 2-stop with Toge, very good from those two. He did make a 2-stop. Moker with the 1-stop, and then Boomer through Clamp God, I believe, have all made 2 stops there. Clamp God did get back up into 10th place and has managed to hold on to that position since then. Is he closing in on Amateur Enzo here? Went a little bit deep into that corner. Does manage to make the late apex. It's a little loose coming out, but moving up around toe and onto that back straight there. And here is your leader, Toge, out front with an absolutely dominant performance here. Onto the back straight, heading down to the bus stop chicane, and a couple of back markers. Back markers are ghosted in these races so that they cannot interfere with the leaders. Similar to online play, I have considered turning that off, but you know, if there is a final lap battle for first and they're coming up on back markers, I would prefer the back markers not have an impact on that fight. In this race, we don't have to worry about that because Toge is so far out here in front. It's absolutely nothing to worry about. He could drift the next few corners and still pull off the dub here, so just a nice few corners here left to go. And yeah, just another great drive by Toge to pull off another win. Coming around the final corner here, onto the start finish straight, and across the line. Toge is your race winner. Anthrax, Legend right on Anthrax's tail coming up the line. Legend did close that gap quite a bit. Looks like Anthrax did just manage to hold on to P2. Whoa, Legend's car just went crazy there at the end of the race. It smashed into Anthrax. Sam moved up into the top 5. Moker finished in P6. So Sam did manage to get by Moker there at the end. I don't know if that was penalty or on track, but let's check back in further down the field here. Clamp God in P10 rounds the final corner up to the line. Gives you guys a little drift show there across the line. Check back in down here, and we have the Rake coming through the penultimate corner. Monster Tray finishing in 11th. Rake rounds the final corner up to the line, and we'll take that P12. Alvaro back here in P13. Just a few corners left here. Check in on Tannic Wolf, who appears to perhaps have given up on this race. Alvaro through the final corner. Down the start finish straight. And across the line for Alvaro for P13. Anthrax and Legend both moving up 10 spots to snag podium positions there. So, GG, guys. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, I hope you'll leave it a like. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you liked the format, if you would like to participate in these races. You know, you can always catch them during the live streams. So we will be doing more of these, assuming that everybody enjoyed it. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in the next one.